Hi everyone, it's Barbara and welcome back to my channel. I have 10 Christmas ornament DIYs for you guys today, so let's jump right in and start on ornament number 1. I am using this Christmas ornament from Dollar General, which I paid $1 for, and I was so excited to find this buffalo check fabric at Dollar Tree. It is 20 inches by 21 inches. So excited to find that. And I'm also going to be using some Mod Podge. So after I remove the tag, I am going to lay the fabric out and then trace around the ornament to get the size that I need for my fabric. Once I trace that out and cut it down, I am going to apply this to the back of the ornament with the Mod Podge. So this could be a dual purposed ornament, but probably not really after I get done embellishing it. I'll go ahead and apply that Mod Podge and then just put my fabric down, press that, get it nice and even and smooth, and then I apply Mod Podge on top of that and set it to the side to let it dry completely. So this is just sealing it in, and I will cut that excess off after it dries. So now that it has dried, I remove the excess with my X-Acto knife and just get a nice smooth finish on there. Then I took a pokey tool and poked through where the hole is originally on the ornament so that I could have a place to attach my hanger. I'm using this reindeer or deer ornament from Dollar Tree, and I am just going to simply hot glue this to the front of the ornament and let that set up, and then I'm going to create my hanger with some hemp rope, and I just literally double knot it at the top and then cut that excess off. And then so that it would hang straight, I just put a bead of hot glue at the top of that and then glue that down so it won't twist around once I hang it up. I'm also going to be using some mini pine cones. These mini pine cones came from Hobby Lobby, but Dollar Tree also sells those. And the red berries came from Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to cut a smaller bunch of the berries off. And I will be attaching the pine cones and the berries to the top of the ornament with hot glue. And after I do that, I feel like it still needs a little something else. So I will be going in with one of the garland ties from Dollar Tree to put that more towards around the deer. I'm sorry, I said garland ties, but it was one of the mini ornaments. These mini wreath ornaments came from Dollar Tree, and you get, I think it's 3 or 4 in a pack for $1. And I just cut that to fit around the deer just to give it some more greenery, and it also helps to cover up that chenille stem that's wrapped around the deer. So I trimmed that down a little bit because it is a little longer than I want it to be, and then I'll just hot glue that around the deer, and this ornament is finished. And I absolutely love how this turned out. I think this will be a big hit at our house. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of ornament number 1. Moving on to ornament number 2, I found these mini ornaments at Walmart. You get 6 for $1.98, and I just love all of these. They're so cute. So they will be used in the next few DIY ornaments. The first one, I go ahead and remove the tag and the bow and set the bow to the side. And this one says Christmas Tree Farm. And I am using some wooden beads. I bought a box of wooden beads from Walmart. They're assorted sizes, so I just pulled the sizes that I wanted out. And I'm using some elastic stretch cord. You can find this at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I believe this came from Hobby Lobby. And I'm just going to feed those on there, alternating from small to large until I get the length that I want. And once I get the length that I want, I will cut to the end of that elastic cord and double knot it so that it will stay in place. And then I'm also going to take the other end and feed it through the top of the ornament so that I can attach it, and I will double knot it there as well. And once that is double knotted, I can reapply the buffalo check bow back on top of the ornament. Now you can take the top of this elastic cord where the beads are, and you can attach that to one of your hooks to attach it to your tree. So this is just showing you that it's double knotted at the top, and cut that extra cording off. And then you can just take that top piece and tie it around a hook to attach it. And then I felt like the tails on the bow were a little too long, so I do trim those down and then reattach this right where it was originally on the hole where the beads are attached. And this is so cute and so farmhouse. I just love how this ornament turned out. Let me know in the comments down below if you like ornament number 2. Moving on to ornament number 3, I am using my white Waverly chalk paint, and I'm actually only going to be using 3 of the tumbling tower pieces. I know I showed you 4, but I do only use 3, and I went ahead and gave those a coat of paint. And I'm going to be using the Let It Snow mini ornament from Walmart. And I just hot glue these pieces together in a staggered position so that it would look like a block of wood. And then I attach the Let It Snow ornament right in the center of that with hot glue. This is such a simple DIY ornament, but I just love how it turns out. Again, I trim the bow down, and I will reattach that right there on the center. And then to create a hanger, I am using some hemp rope, and I just double knot that at the top, trim that excess off, and then I will attach this to the back of the ornament with hot glue. Very simple, very easy, but I absolutely love how this ornament turned out. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of ornament number 3. And moving on to ornament number 4, again, I will be using one of the mini ornaments that came in the package from Walmart. I am also using a garland tie from Dollar Tree that I've gone ahead and put chalk paint on, the white Waverly chalk paint, to give it a snowy effect. And I just bend that around to create a circle, and then I'm going to attach that together with some floral wire. This floral wire came from Dollar Tree. And this is going to form a wreath for our mini ornament to hang from. And I'm just going to wrap that around, twist it together, and then I bend the floral wire down and feed the floral wire through the hole at the top of the mini ornament, and then twist that around so that it will hang right in the middle of the wreath. And then I felt like some of the greenery was a little too long, so I do go ahead and trim some of that down. I reattach my bow right there at the top where the mini ornament is. And then I'm going to embellish this wreath with some berries and some mini pine cones. But first I'm going to attach some hemp rope to create a hanger for this new wreath to hang from. So I just looped through the 2 end pieces. I just took the hemp rope, folded it in half, and then wrapped it around the wreath and looped the end pieces through the loop that I had on the wreath. Then I double knotted it at the end and put some hot glue so that it would stay in place, and cut the excess of the hemp rope off. Then I just attached some pine cones at the bottom and a smaller bunch of berries at the top, and then a pine cone on each side, and this ornament is finished, and I just love how this turned out. So let me know what you think of ornament number 4. Moving on to ornament number 5, again using another mini ornament from Walmart. I've gone ahead and removed the hanger that was on there and trimmed down my bow and reattached my bow, and this says Old-Fashioned Sleigh Rides, 25 cents. It has a little bit of red. You can't really tell with the camera position, but it does have a little bit of red in that ornament. And I am using some quart paint stir sticks from Lowe's. You can get these about 30 for $1. And I did not measure these. I just cut them down to equal sizes. I knew that I wanted it to be larger than the mini ornament. And then I take some sandpaper and sand the corners down so they would not be so rough. And as I did that, part of the craft stick or paint stir stick broke, which I think worked in my favor because I absolutely love how it turned out. It just broke one of the little corner pieces off. So I attach these together by using some hot glue and just gluing the mini ornament down in the center of that. And I just love how it gave it that rustic wood look with that chipped piece. Once I get this attached, I'm going to use some berry garland that came from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to wrap it around each of the sides about 3 times, making sure that I get a good amount of those berries in the front. And then I will secure that down with some floral wire to make sure that it stays together. And then I'm going to hot glue that down to make sure it doesn't slide off the end. I'll just take the floral wire just to make sure those pieces don't move around, and then apply some hot glue so that it doesn't come off the end of the ornament. And I'm going to do that for the other side as well. And once I get that done, I'll create my hanger for the back. And again, I'm going to use some hemp rope. And I'm just going to glue that to the top 2 corners. And then this ornament will be finished. And I just absolutely, again, love how this turned out. Here you can see Old Fashioned is in red. So cute. Love this DIY. If this is your first time on my channel, I would love it if you would click that subscribe button and the bell icon, which is below this video. And if you enjoyed today's video, please like, comment, and share with your friends. Also, if you have missed any of my previous Christmas videos, I have a playlist in my description box below if you are interested in checking those out. Moving on to ornament number 6. I purchased these 2 miniatures Christmas plastic little pieces from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be using, well, I know this is not an ornament, it's a snow globe, but since I had these miniatures, I was going to go ahead and use them, and I think it would be a great fun DIY with your smaller children or your grandchildren. I think they would just truly enjoy this. So I just pulled the cap off, and then it has this insert in there. And then you take the paperwork out, and I'm just gluing the snowman, the bench, and one of the lamp posts right there to the bottom of that plastic insert. And then I'm going to use some faux snow. This has more of a like crystallized look, and this came from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to pour very little, not a whole lot, because I don't want to cover up the bench and the snowman. And then you just put the insert back inside of the snow globe and then twist the cap back on. And then to decorate the cap a little bit, I'm going to use a red ribbon with white snowflakes on it. This came from Dollar Tree. And I just hot glue that around the bottom of the cap. And then once I get that finished, it is a little larger or a little wider than the cap at the bottom. I do take scissors and go around the bottom and trim that excess off. Again, this is a very simple DIY that I think your children or grandchildren would enjoy making with you. And it turns out so cute. So after that is trimmed, this is finished. It's done. And I just think this is so cute and will really complement your Christmas decor. Let me know what you think of this little mini snow globe. For the next ornament, ornament number 7, I am again going to use some of those miniatures, and then I'm going to use one of these, they look like mason jar ornaments, and I'm going to remove the tag. Well, actually, I'm using the miniature trees. Now, Dollar Tree does sell miniature trees, but these came out of a package from Walmart that had 15 different sized, well, they weren't all different sizes, but they had 15 of the artificial trees, and they had a lot of the small ones and some medium sized, large, and they also had some artificial snow in there. So I just hot glued these down to the lid using the same faux snow I used in the previous DIY. Reattach the lid, and I'm not going to cover this lid with ribbon because I'm using this cut and carry peel and stick like wall sticker. I think this came from Dollar General. It could have come from Walmart. I cannot remember. I think it was Dollar General. But I'm just going to place that cut and carry right there on top of the globe, mason jar ornament, not sure what you call it. But I love that it's gray and it matches the bottom of this ornament, so that's why I did not wrap that in ribbon. And then this, to create the hanger, because I really didn't like the little thin hanger that was on there, I just used some silver tinsel cord, and then I'm just going to fold that in half, pull it through the loop there, and then pull the ends through the loop, and then I'll double knot that end once I'm finished. And then cut that excess off, and this ornament will be finished. And I again love how this one turned out. Super adorable. And I'll show you in just a second a closer look so you can really see how well that sticker matches the bottom of this ornament. So cute. Love how that one turned out. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this one. Moving on to ornament number 8. Going to use another one of those mason jar ornament snow globe things. And this is when I'm using the other miniatures. I am using the Santa, a lamppost, and again, one of those mini trees from Walmart. And those two would not fit in there together, so I cut the base of the tree off so that it would all fit into the lid of this globe. And I'm just going to hot glue those down. And once I get those in place, I can put some faux snow into the globe. And I'm just putting the Santa beside the tree and then the lamppost in the back. So cute, adorable. And just put a little bit of faux snow in there, not too much, but enough to cover the bottom and get around the base of that tree. And then I'm going to use my hot glue and attach the same red ribbon I used in the previous DIY with the white snowflakes. And I will just hot glue that around this lid. And then I can reattach the lid to the snow globe. And I also do change out the hanger. Again, I'm going to use that silver tinsel cord. But before that, I do trim off the bottom because, again, that ribbon is wider than the actual lid. And then I can attach that or just twist that back onto the globe and then create my hanger. And I'm going to use the same, like I said, the same tinsel cord. And I'm going to use the same method I did before, just folding it over and then feeding it through and double knotting it at the top. And then I do like to put a little bit of glue at the top just to keep that knot from coming apart, and then cut the excess off. And this one's finished. Oh, it's so adorable. I think that's so cute. So moving on to ornament number 9. This is a stake that I found at Walmart for 98 cents. And I love how it looks. I tried to use my hairdryer to loosen up the glue to remove that sticker, but it was stubborn and would not come off. And then I took my screwdriver and just popped the stake off of there. And then I used some sandpaper to sand that down as best I could, trying to make it smooth. And then I'm going to paint the sides, the little thin sides, and the entire back with my Waverly chalk paint in white because I wanted it to have a nice finished look. Again, this DIY so easy, and just love how it turned out. And once I get that painted and the paint dries, I just create a hanger using my hemp rope again, and I'm just going to hot glue that to the back. And I actually just folded these sides up just to give it a little bit more stability, and then I do put some more hot glue on top of that once I set the rope down. And then this ornament is finished. It is so beautiful. I love how this one turned out. Okay, y'all, so we are at the last ornament of the video, and I'm using one of the larger plastic ornaments from Dollar Tree. And I am going to take some plaster chalk paint after I remove this lid. It is Waverly's Plaster Chalk Paint, and I'm going to put 2 coats. So what I did was I put my first coat on, and then I used my hair dryer to dry it a little bit, but not completely, before I put my second coat on, because I wanted some texture in there, because you'll see in a minute why I wanted some texture. But I'll show you a close-up of how that turned out after I had painted it. This is the second time. See that texture in there? That's kind of what I was going for, because this is I'm trying to make a birch ball. So I'm going to paint it to look like birch wood. And so I wanted all of that texture in there. So to create the dark effects in the birch wood, I am using my burnt umber and 1 tiny drop of black acrylic paint. I'll mix that up very well, and then I use a very thin, small brush, and I just create some lines. So I begin by trying to create more of like a knot, and then I just go around and create sporadic lines. Then I took a baby wipe and just very, very light-handedly go over the lines so that it blends it in, and it also sort of smears it around and makes it look more natural. And I'm just going to do that all the way around the ornament. Now, as you go, you do get some paint on the baby wipe, and that works out great, because then I'll go in between those lines that I have painted to create an even lighter line. So here you can see, as I'm going around, I'll just take that paint that's already on the baby wipe and just go around and create some of those lighter colored lines. And then after my paint dries, I do go over this entire piece with Mod Podge, because it's chalk paint and it's going to be on my Christmas tree. I really don't want that paint to peel off. I do go ahead and paint the lid with my Waverly Chalk Paint and Truffle, because I knew that that silver was really going to stand out, so I kind of wanted that to blend in with the ornament. And I also take some Waverly Chalk Paint in white, 3 pine cones. These came from Dollar General in a box. They have tags on the back, and I just pulled the tags off. And then 2 of the garland ties from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to paint very lightly over all of these pieces to give it more of a snowy colored effect. And then this is just me showing you to make sure you go over it with Mod Podge before you put all the pieces together. So I've already gone over it with Mod Podge, and I've already let it dry. And then I'm just going to reattach the lid, but before I push it all the way down, you just want to get those silver tabs in there. I go ahead and hot glued this lid on, because I was not feeling that this lid would hold all of this up once I get everything on there, because it's pretty flimsy. So I just wanted to make sure it stays on there. And then I took one of the garland ties and just wrapped it around the lid, just to get a feel of how long I wanted it to be. And then I'm going to glue that down around the top of the ornament, and then I will cut that excess off. But I do attach those 2 pieces with hot glue, and then I keep that piece I just cut off, because I'm going to reattach it on the other side. And I actually cut that in half and reattach those 2 pieces on the opposite side. And then I'm going to use some white berries. These came from Hobby Lobby when they had their 50% off sale, so it was originally $2.99. And I just cut a few of those berries off, and I'm going to place those on each side with some hot glue, just wherever I thought it looked good. And then I'm going to hot glue a pine cone right there at the top. And then I'm going to attach some more berries on the other side. And then again, I'll attach another pine cone. And I'm just placing them wherever I think they would look good. You could place them, however you want to. But before I finished, I wanted to make sure I added my hanger, because as I am gluing some of these pine cones on there, I didn't want to not be able to get to the hanger part. So again, I'm just using some hemp rope and looping that through. And I actually do flip this back around once I double knot it to put the knot down at the bottom. And then I'll glue another pine cone. And then I'll put another pine cone. And I just love, love, love how this one turned out. I would have to say this is one of my favorites. Well, this is probably my favorite out of all the ones I made in this video. And I just added a little bit more greenery. And here you can see that the knot is now down at the bottom of the hanger. And then I add a few more white berries right in between those pine cones. And then this one is finished, and I just love how this one turned out. So pretty. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of ornament number 10. And if you have a favorite out of these 10 ornaments today, please let me know in the comments down below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Please take care, and I will see you guys next time.